conditions taken out already.
This is like a little talk show. I love it. It's not going to talk about football or something. I was going to say not for minutes ago.
Where do they want it? Well, he said to us, he said make it not such a new one. Yeah, so basically, so that's why if you're using this, not an angle, then they might be as long as
You became very quiet very quick. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer. Hey there folks, it is your Deputy Returning Officer, Ashley Strasmere, in their non-binary finery. This is the University of Nottingham Students' Union's 110th year in existence, and has seen a wide range of elections in its history. It's truly amazing to consider how far we've come in the last century, from pen and paper to state-of-the-art touchscreen devices, from quill pens to TikTok trains. But one thing never changes. Even though the elections are organised by the Students' Union, they're made by the candidates. And let me tell you, these candidates have truly put some elbow grease to get here. They've painted banners and posters, they've made videos that will make Spielberg jealous, and they've probably consumed enough caffeine to power a small country. Being a candidate is no easy feat. It's like a job interview from hell, where instead of impressing one or two managers, you have to convince thousands of students to vote for you. So hats off to our candidates. They deserve a round of applause just because they've survived this ordeal. And what a record breaker we have had indeed. 63% increase in nominations, 44% increase in voters, and an incredible 184% increase in votes. What an amazing feat of democratic goodness. It just warms my heart. Now it's time for the announcements. All complaints and appeals have been resolved, all elections have been counted and verified, and it's now time to find out who will be representing you next year. Now we'll move to our first announcement for tonight, which is our faculty representatives. And your winners for faculty representatives undergraduate this year are Maisha for Social Sciences, Mercer for Medicine and Health Sciences Non-Clinical, Heather for Medicine and Health Sciences Clinical, and Megan for Arts. Congratulations. We'll be electing postgraduate tour and postgraduate research faculty reps in autumn, so please keep an eye out for those. I will now pass to our host on NSTV for the rest of the results announcements.
Hello? Well, that is on. Hello everyone. It's weird not doing this in Mooch. I'm Joe Paternoster, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm your current activities officer. I believe I'm about to present the societies and sports grant stuff, but before I do just also want to say a few thank yous. Firstly, thank you to the Student Voice team. This is probably their most stressful week of the year, and as Ashley's numbers kind of show, they've done a cracking good job. So a round of applause to the Student Voice team, please. I also echo absolutely everything Ashley said about being a candidate. I was it last year. It's an absolutely mental experience. There's been even more candidates this year, so the experience has been even more intense. So another round of applause to all our candidates, please. I also want to thank all the other non-student voice staff who I know have filled in and helped out this week, be it going around, being on the go-to stuff and stuff like that. So a round of applause to all staff, please, they've been amazing. And then a very special thank you to the people who made tonight happen, whether it's the likes of Donna and Nikki who helped clean out the tech office this morning, whether it's the various media groups we have in the room supporting us, whether it's tech, sorting the tech like they always do. And a very special thank you as well to Joe Banks, because he's pretty much single-handedly organised tonight, despite being the second year. So a round of applause to Joe Banks. Anyway, we're about to give away some money, so we'd love to see that. So could I please have the results for the Societies and Sporting grant? So for, God, this is the first time I've seen this class, so bear with me for reading that out. Society winners for small groups, £200 goes to the Eurovision Society.
Yeah!
Go Eurovision! Woo! £150 goes to SAS, we love SAS. £100 goes to Scouts and Guides. And £50 goes to Lifesaving. Well done all of you guys. For medium groups, £200 goes to Labour. We are politically neutral, but £200 to Labour, everyone. £150 to the Might magazine. £100 vegetarian and to vegan, and £50 to Amnesty. And then for large groups with over 100 members, £200 to the English Society. Are they in the room? Round of applause, please. One of us is next. Which one of you is next? Is it James? I'm going to welcome up to the front James Horsburgh.
Do you want your cards back, Jack? Good evening, everyone. My name is James Horsburgh. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a current student trustee at UoNSU, which gives me kind of the honour of presenting part of the part-time officer roles that we're going to be going through. So the first one that we have is the BME for the Black and Minority Ethnic Part-Time Officer. I don't know if there's a slide there. So the Black and Minority Ethnic Students Officer stands up for those who identify as part of the BME community. You represent the views of BME students and work to make sure that UoNSU University are safe and welcoming for everyone. Within UoNSU, BME students refers to students of African, Asian, Arab, Afro-Caribbean descent, those of minority ethnic groups, including Jewish, Romanian students, and those who identify as having mixed or multiple ethnicities. So the candidates that we had for this election are Ella Benson-Roberts, as well as reopened nominations, also known as Rob.
And now it's time for your voice in the sky to announce your next BME officer is Ella Benson-Roberts!
Congratulations, Ella. Very well done on your election. Really looking forward to see what you can do in the next academic year. About the breakdown for that election, so in the first round of voting, Ella Robertson had 63 votes, Ron had 13, 0 votes were exhausted, and therefore there was a surplus of 25 votes for the threshold of 38 votes. So from this first count of choices of the election, the initial quota was 38, and candidate Ella Benson-Roberts has reached the threshold and is therefore elected as the BME part-time officer. So moving on to the Class Equity Part-Time Officer. The Class Equity Officer will be elected to defend and extend the rights of students adversely affected by socio-economic background. This role will include assisting the full-time officers in representing issues relating to the experiences of students adversely affected by socio-economic background to the university and other external organisations, as well as campaigning on issues of concern, interest and relevance to the experience of students adversely affected by socio-economic background. So the candidates again for this election were Meg Isaac, as well as Ron, again, reopened nominations.
And your first ever Class Equity Officer is Meg Isaac!
Congratulations, Meg. Congratulations. So, for the voting breakdown of that election, again, just in the first round, Meg has received 60 votes, with Ron receiving 5. 0 votes were exhausted, and there was a surplus of 27.5 votes. I don't know how that happens. And the threshold was 32.5. For the first choice of elections, for the first round of the election, the initial quota was 32.5. And therefore, candidate Meg Isaac has reached that threshold and is elected as Class Equity Part-Time Officer. Moving on to the Disabled Part-Time Officer role. The disabled Student Officer fights to make UoNSU and university inclusive, accessible and exciting for all students with disabilities. You promote change in events and policies and work to make course resources, recordings and general access available to all students. The disabled student officer can expect to spend their time acting as a central voice for students with disabilities by gathering feedback from students and making sure this is acted upon. Working with the union and university staff to improve the student experience for students with disabilities, such as meeting with the university's Associate Director for Disabilities to discuss developing support structures. They'll also be meeting with inclusive sport at UoNSU inclusive sports staff at UoNSU to discuss feedback from students. They'll also work with students and staff across the SU to run activities and deliver campaigns on issues affecting students with disabilities. They'll also get a chance to lead on Disability History Month initiatives, as well as chairing Disability Students Network. So for this election, we had candidates of Charlotte Brooker, as well as Sam Ferris, and of course, Ron as well.
And your next disabled students officer is Charlotte Brooker!
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Charlotte. Congratulations. And the final one that I will be doing, I'm going to do this first, I'm sorry. So from the disabled student election, in the first round, Sam Ferris received 31 votes, Charlotte Brooker received 108 votes, with Ron receiving 2. No results were exhausted, and the surplus was 37.5, with the threshold being required 70.5. By this count of first choice votes, the initial quota was 70.5, and candidate Charlotte Brooker had reached that threshold and is therefore elected as the next disabled students part-time officer. So now, moving on to the last one from me, is the international part-time officer. So the international student officer will work to make sure that international students have the best university experience that they can possible. They'll also expect to spend their time working with the union and university staff to improve the student experience from international student perspective, acting as a central voice for international students by gathering feedback from students and making sure that it is acted upon. They'll work with students and staff across the SU to run activities and deliver campaigns on issues affecting international students. And they'll also lead international students. The candidates for this election were Nicola Mayer and reopened nominations as well.
And your next international students part-time officer is Nicola Maynard!
Congratulations, Maynard. And that is it from me. So I think I'm handing. Oh, this again. Every time. So in the first round of voting, Nicola received 51 votes, with Ron receiving 7. No votes were exhausted, and the surplus was 22. The threshold for the election was 29. From this first choice of votes, the initial quota, of course, was 29, and candidate Nicola Maynard has reached that threshold and is therefore elected as the international part-time officer. So it's either a break now or we're over to Ben, but I'm not too sure.
Sing.
Do we talk about... Do we call it a 5-minute break?
5-minute break when we think about this break. 10-minute break.
10-minute break. So, I guess, do we want to talk on the sofa?
Yeah, you have a nice talk.
Hello. Hello, okay. Thanks so much, James. Can we have a round of applause for James?
One of the ideas I was thinking for, while all 4 of us are up here, we are going to be your hosts for today. We'll be announcing all the results. We were just talking about how we actually know each other throughout our experiences at university. So I first met Joe online as during the pandemic. Joe was leading the first Societies Challenge. It's a university challenge style for all the societies as president of English. yeah, it was a great event. My society lost out very soon to class lock, but yeah.
This has been so well planned. I'm going to say when I met Sally. I met Sally when I was the president of the English Society, and I organised the Society Challenge, and a cappella went out quite early, I think. James, when did I met James. When did I meet him? I met James in Welcome this year. He was the. Do you want to tell us about your welcome with James?
Yeah, so in Welcome Week that we had back in September, or it seems it's ages ago now, but I was the Welcome Programme Coordinator on the committee. And that was our kind of one of our first interactions, especially if you've been in an office position.
James, how did we meet?
Well, we work in different wings of the board, don't we?
Yeah, so never, so funny.
I know.
And it was interesting. Let's go with it.
So yeah, so you're involved more in NSTV, right?
NSTV. It is my home. I'm head of entertainment through TV. And also General Secretary for the Portland Music Library. And my first met Solly. I can't remember my first one, to be honest. I think I heard about you, maybe. But I was on Solly's campaign team. 2 years, last year, to union development. We run around campus, make little videos.
I was going to say, that was you running around campus,
Yeah.
making sort of short little videos.
Yeah,
I enjoyed those.
little videos. They're quite fun. And Joe, we go way back. We've got a lot of history. But Joe's put on the wonderful Mooch Live this year. Good. Woohoo. And it's been great. Our band roommates played. Thanks to Joe.
They've played multiple times and it's been incredible every time. So
Thank you very much.
enjoy it.
No problem. So we just let people talk amongst themselves for 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think that makes some sense. Yeah.
We'll be back with you shortly.
No, what a shame. Oh my god.
trying to get someone to slow the back, but it's when it goes
Could I have some help? We're going to be starting again in about 30 seconds, a minute. Get ready. Oh, 2 minutes. Hello everyone, we're back and we're now going to be discussing some of the other part-time officer roles. So my name is Ben Preston and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm the General Secretary of the Portland Music Library and also Head of Entertainment for NSTV. So first off, we have the LGBT+ officer. So the LGBT+ officer fights on behalf of students who don't conform to the heteronormative or cisnormative expectations of society, and therefore anyone who self-identifies as LGBTIQIA+. You'll promote changes to events and policies and work to make courses and the culture at UoN inclusive and respectful to all students. The LGBT+ student officer can expect to spend their time acting as a central voice for LGBT+ students by gathering feedback from students and making sure this is acted upon, working with union and university staff to improve the student experience for the members they represent. For instance, meeting with the university's LGBTQIA+ steering group, who influence support and representation of LGBTQIA+ people at the university. Working with students and staff across the SU to run activities and deliver campaigns on issues affecting students within the community. So, the candidates that we have for this position are Lexi Quayle and Nuri Alua, and then also Ron.
And your next LGBT+ students part-time officer is Nuri Alua!
Congratulations, Nuri. And now we're going to look at the voting breakdown. So Lexi had 75 votes, Nuri had 104, Ron had 11, there was 0 exhausted, 9 surplus, and the threshold was 95 votes. So at the count of first choices, the initial quota is 95. Candidate Nuri Alua has reached the threshold and is elected. Congratulations. Okay, so next up we have the mature officer role. So, the mature students officer fights to raise awareness of issues affecting mature students and to promote and protect the welfare of mature students. Mature students refers to undergraduate students who are aged over 21 on entry to the university, and postgraduate students who are aged over 25 on entry to the university. You'll promote changes to events and policies and work to make the university environment more welcoming and supporting to mature students. So, the candidates that we have for the mature role is Kimberly Brown and also Ron.
And your next mature students officer is Kimberly Brown!
Okay, so in terms of the voting breakdown, Kimberley had 56 votes, Rob 3, there was 0 exhausted, 26.5 surplus, and a 29.5 threshold. Counter first choices, the initial quota is 29.5, candidate Kimberley Brown has reached the threshold and is elected. Can we have a round of applause, please? Okay, and next up we have the trans officer. So the trans students officer is the representative of the transgender and non-binary students at university. The trans students officer can expect to spend their time working with the union to support trans and non-binary students throughout their time at university, with actions such as supporting the administrative process of changing names or gender with university, be a consultant for the union and LGBT+ officer on matters specifically regarding trans students, work on social activities and campaign on issues affecting trans and non-binary students, such as being the lead on Transgender Day of Remembrance actions, and also chairing the Trans Students Network. So, the candidates for the trans officer were Harry Forsyth and also Ron.
And your first ever trans students officer is Harry Forsyth!
Congratulations, Harry. So Harry had 84 votes, 3 for Ron, 0 exhausted, a surplus of 40.5, and a threshold of 43.5. So this is the counter first choices. The initial quota is 43.5. Candidate Harry Forsyth has reached the threshold and is elected. Can we have another round of applause, please? And finally, we have the women's officer. So the women's officer is the elected representative for anyone who considers womanhood to be a part of their identity, inclusive of trans, non-binary, and intersex inclusive people, and anyone who experiences oppression as a woman. You'll promote changes to events and policies, and work to make courses and the culture at UoN inclusive and respectful to all students. So within this category, we have the candidate of Maisha Oya, and we also have Ron.
And for your last PTO announcement tonight, your next Women's Students Officer is Maisha Booyah!
Okay, and finally we have the last voting breakdown for PTOs. So Maisha had 90 votes, 61 for Ron, 0 exhausted, 14.5 surplus, and 75.5 was the threshold. So there's counter first choices. The initial quota is 75.5. Candidate Maisha has reached the threshold and is elected. Congratulations. So that's everything from me. And now we're going to move on to a little discussion of the different voting breakdown. Ooh.
Okay, so we've got a lot more scheduled breakdowns now than we did previously. Our content was critiqued. So firstly, I wanted to talk about 2 of the part-time officer roles. 2 of them have been recently ratified by, so they were originally brought forward at Union Council, and then they were discussed at Democratic Procedures Committee, and then they were available for election this year. And so this is the first time that 2 of those have been elected, and so that's Class Equity Officer and Trans Students Officer. So it's really great to see that there's going to be representation for those groups. And so yeah, I think this is a good stage for representation and democracy, and also seeing that there are people who want to be supporting specific people in what they want to do and fighting for their rights.
Agreed. Shall we now talk about the Disabled Students Officer voting breakdown? Yeah, we want to talk about the Disabled Students Officer voting breakdown, don't we, James?
Yeah, because there were two different candidates for this. So Sam had 31 and Sienna had 100. Sienna had 108.
James, this was your...
I mean, it's only just because this was obviously one of the only ones that I had which were contested, so it was great to see, you know, engaged students in terms of getting contention for the role and making sure that students had different students to represent and had a choice within which candidate they felt they most aligned with and which policies within their manifestos they really wanted to push within their time as a part-time officer. So yeah, just really good. Well done to both candidates for putting together a great campaign. And I'm sure Shana, you'll do fantastic in your role as well.
Thank you.
Was there anything you want to talk about there?
Well, you also had a contested election.
Oh yeah, there was a contested as well.
Was it the LGBT plus one?
Yeah, so we had another contested election that was between Lexi and Nuri. And so it was quite a close one actually. 75 votes for Lexi and 104 for Nuri, with 11 wrong. So, what, like 30 in it? Yeah? Yeah. But yeah, well done guys.
Do you want to move on to more the important part, or
Yeah.
not the important part, the more exciting part I think from our audience?
Yeah, that's an exciting announcement.
So we've got a little surprise for you guys in store that we were wondering what to do for these kind of content breaks, and well, I had an idea earlier, maybe we could have a little Kahoot among the audience. I know I can see a little oohs and ahs in the audience.
But there's something even better.
But there's something even better. In the content break we had before, where we didn't really do much, but
No.
we got informed by a host this evening that there is going to be up for grabs for the winner of this Kahoot a £50 Portland Coffin Company voucher.
Get your phones out. Get them ready.
So I'm hoping the Kahoot will come up on the screen.
You do that now.
And we're doing it now. So if you have your phones with you,
I'm so sorry if you don't have a phone, but maybe someone else will use
yeah,
theirs.
maybe if you want to, maybe team up with someone that you could
Yeah, you could always team up, split.
If people want to split up with, or team up with somebody next to them, you can split it 25-25, I guess.
Yeah, so the game pin is 962-8141, or you can scan the QR code, but I don't really know if you'll be able to from over there. Oh, lots of people joined already.
Oh yes, here we go. People really want this £50 prize.
Oh my god.
While we wait for everybody to join, we'll just talk about the prize for voting. Essentially, 5 random students who voted in this election have been selected to receive £100 of lovely goodies from SU services. So that's £25 from Luch, £25 in Portland Coffee, 25 in Portland Clothing, and £25 for Spa.
Yeah, so we're going to announce later the lucky winner of the draw, who will be getting some money to spend in our lovely SU.
Got 20 people so far.
So I'm going to go through my favourite names so far. We are, of course, politically neutral, but Jeremy Corbyn seems a solid shout. Meloman, I wonder who that could be. Gerald, who's Gerald? George, is that you? George, give us a wave.
Okay.
Hey. There is a maximum bag count of 20 people. We'd have to pay to upgrade, but we've paid for £50 coffee vouchers. So,
Sorry if you didn't join, but there was only 20 spaces. How many unique voters? How many unique voters were there this election?
You're in the way, guys! Thank you! Look, it's out, guys!
So, know, there were 3,055 in this election. For those of you that didn't join in, maybe join with someone else and then you can share the voucher if your friend's kind enough to let you. So, looking at the scores, in first place we have John Hurst.
I can see John Hurst at the radio station cheering over there. He's doing it.
Do you want to announce that?
Question 2. How many times has Domino's Pizza promoted on campus this academic year? Is it 4, 16, 9, or only during Welcome Week? Oh, the music finally, yes.
And it was 9 times. That's quite a few times. But a lot of people thought it was 16. So, swapped up. So John House is now 5th, but we have activities in 4th, Listen on your end in 3rd, Elizabeth Saint in 2nd, and Ben Miller, I believe, in 1st place. Very well done.
Question 3.
Before its rename, what was the Monica Partridge building known as? Teaching and Learning, the Educational Trust Building, the Engineering Science Learning Centre, or it was always called Money King.
What do we think? What do we think? I'm going to join you. I'm going to join you.
Okay. So it's Teaching and Learning Building. And now the scoreboards have swapped up. Mela is in 2nd, but Eliz Hussain is in 1st place. All to play for though. What is Joe Paternoster's go-to fancy dress outfit? In bleeding, sausage roll, James Bond, or an inflatable condom?
That's a fine picture of Mr. Paternoster.
Look at him running.
Look at him running.
Dynamic.
Athletic.
Eye candy. It is a sausage roll. Yeah, we can ask him why. I don't know where he is at the moment. Oh, there he is. He can answer. But again, in 3rd place is Eliz Hussain. So why is that your costume?
I love sausage rolls, it's quite obvious. Thank you.
He loves sausage rolls.
Who was the activities officer for the 2020-21 academic year? And there is proof of Joe wearing his sausage roll outfit.
So Joe Paternoster, Dennis Lennon, Georgina Pittman, or Phoebe Willis. Oh my God! Wow! I want to see what's happened to the scoreboard. Liz Hussain has quite a big lead actually.
I was going to say that lead has been growing round by round. Oh! And what decade did Sonny join the University of Nottingham? Sonny, that's a very well-affected photo of you on the screen.
1990s, 2010s, 2000s or 2020s.
That is a picture of me in my 1st year. Very cool. Very good.
There you go, 2010s. What year did you join, sorry?
2012. I've been there already.
And the list still has that lead with the top 3 with Ben Miller and then Activities in 2nd and Eliz Hussain in 1st place. What is Joe Banks' new role on the 2023 Welcome Committee?
And no, that is not a picture of Joe in prison, that is just his passport photo.
Welfare coordinator. How are those programs, Joe? And the list still has the lead with 6,528. 2 questions to go.
Which of these university buildings has never been occupied as part of a protest?
Trent Building, Postgraduate Auditorium, Kingston Auditorium, Lawrence Central Sciences Building.
That's a very good megaphone. I found that again. I found it.
It's great. It's a great quiz as well.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Thank you.
And the correct answer was the Lawrence Social Sciences Building.
Nice.
Oh! With only one round to go, let's see what happens.
Right. So if two of you are included with NSTV content, you might know this, but who scored the winning goal for Ocean 7 in the SU's November charity football game? Was it El Presidente, Solly Chowdhury? Was it Sporty Sean Nolan? Commercial superstar Steve Scott? Or charity loving Muhammad Ali?
Oh, it was charity loving Muhammad Ali.
There's a second leg to this game on the 2nd of May, by the way. Be there.
And do you want to announce the results?
Oh, well, there's just a fun poll at the end. This doesn't actually count towards your points because both answers are correct, but
This is for research.
you can't lose points there. You both are correct, so it's okay.
Please answer. We're curious.
I think we all know what the actual answer is.
It's Ocean! The Black Ocean! Prince of Ocean himself, Jack Apton. Change the Priya Show, Fridays. 7. So, we've got the results, and in third place, activity.
In second place, Meloman. And in first place, I think it's probably one we'll probably know by now, I guess. It's Elise to say.
Congratulations, Elise! Hey! Where are you? She's tuning from home. I think that's it.
Ellis, you're disqualified.
No!
Yeah. Ellis is upstairs, has access to this way before everybody else. That is not fair. Meloman, you're winning.
Is that fair? What do you think?
I'm just going to cry.
Oh, no. This is tense. Okay, we'll get back to you.
Maybe we'll just share.
Yeah. But that was fun, wasn't it? Yeah. Should we get back up? So thank you everyone for participating in that Kahoot quiz. Yeah, it's extremely stressful. But we'll... Yeah, okay, so now we're going to be announcing the draw, which everyone that has voted has been, I suppose, put forward for the prize. Yeah, so one vote was one count within the draw, and Joe is now going to reveal the winners.
I am. I believe they're going to jump onto the screen. I hope they are. So, the SU Goodies giveaway winner, we have 5 of them. Oh my god. So we have Rebecca McVeigh, Regan Saladin, Harith Ahmad. Elise, how has it done this? That is ridiculous. There's something going on there. But Elise Hussein has also won it, Maya Taylor and Emily Sayer. So congratulations to all of you. Check out Alyssa on the list, sort it out. But yeah, we're going to have a 10-minute break now.
Yeah, round of applause for the winners.
Round of applause for the winners. Yeah, 10-minute break or so, we'll be back with you shortly.
She joined in on the live stream, so that does count as being part of the Kahoot. So Elise, Mercedes is in fact the winner of the Kahoot. Congratulations.
There's no one in the street.
General Education candidate, can you please make your way to the back 2 rows? Thank you.
This, when it's on the side stretch, it's the same angle as
Yeah, perfect. And then on the left turn, so like more like full body left turn. So Haley's going to get shoulder. He's going to get like an equivalent to this shot. I want you to sort of get more like that.
Waist wide.
Or actually, if you can get a good shot, kind of like that. Maybe. Actually, we're going to get a little one like that. So kind of that ish, kind of like.
It's kind of a all round.
You know what I'm talking about.
Joking, guys, 5 minutes. What? Hey, got ya. Hello everyone. I don't think I'm joking this time, so... I'll do this. Okay everyone, so now we're moving on to the full-time officer announcements. So I'm going to go through 4 of the roles with you. I'm going to start with activities, my role. Before we do, I'm just going to give some credit to Cara, who's actually been giving us flowers and shirts all night, so thank you Cara, you've done a great job. Yeah, Cara. So I have a description of each role given to me by Ashley. So the activities officer is the funniest and most entertaining officer, the best looking. No, they haven't said that, unfortunately. The activities officer makes sure that all social activity within the union is led by students, including student groups, volunteering, welcome, events and other social activity. You'll work closely with leaders of student societies, student-run services and associated representative bodies to make sure that the SU is working effectively for their needs and supporting them in their core aims. I've done the role for a year, it's pretty awesome. Whoever my successor is going to have an amazing time. But the candidates are Dan Hack, and reopen nominations. So, hopefully without further ado,
Yes, now your voice in the sky, about to announce your activities officer for 2023-2024, and they are Daniel!
Is this the only one that's working?
Dan enjoys his trip.
This is kind of funny solely because of the fact that we were literally joking back there, don't trip over when you come on the stage. And in my head I was like, no, I'm going to be so careful coming on the stage. I think that's a brilliant start. You know, I'm pretty sure that's a good thing, right? Tripping over when you get elected. Probably not, but yeah.
So do you want to tell us a bit about yourself? What you've done within the uni, like involved in activities?
For anyone that doesn't know somehow, I am Dan. I'm in my third year now, but for the past couple of years, I've been the president at JavaSoc. It's been very fun. We've been doing a lot of fun stuff, but it's exciting to sort of move on and expand that role to everything. And a lot of what I want to do is like. So there's I'm also part of the activities exec committee, so I'll be getting into the SU and all of that. So I've just been working on the S for some time, and it's quite nice to now be a future officer for that. Cool.
So did you have fun during your campaign? Any highlights at all?
The campaign video was fun, mainly because I had to come to campus in a full-on suit and film this massive campaign video, which was genuinely quite fun to do. Got it all edited, and everyone's been like, wow, that's a very impressive campaign video. One of my friends literally said they expected it to be terrible, and then watch it, and they're like, oh my god, this is brilliant. I'm like, I know, the drama kid's coming out. That was probably the highlight of the campaign period. That, and also watching a couple of my campaign members, Bradley and Ed, put up the big bedsheet sign. It was quite amusing, just yelling over at them, telling them to shift it left, shift it right. So thank you, Bradley, I much appreciate that. Thank you, and Ed, who he is.
Round of applause to Bradley and Ed, please. One final question, Dan. So you're the president of JavaSoc. What's the favourite place you've been on a trip to, apart from up the stage?
Okay. No, because I know no one's going to let this go now. Everyone's going to be like, did you remember that time we tripped to change? Which I'll talk, okay. I'd probably say favourite place that I've been to. That's hard. In the country, Edinburgh. I've done like 4 Edinburgh trips. Love the place so much. In terms of out the country, definitely Paris. Brussels, because it has such good food. However, Morocco coming up in April, so that's going to change. So yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Dan. Round of applause for Dan. So we're going to quickly go through the voter breakdown. My favourite part of that. Dan got 1,082 votes, which is an insane number. Well done, Dan. 131 people voted wrong, 0 were exhausted, 475.5 votes were surplus, and 606.15 threshold. Counted first choices, the initial quota is 606.5. Candidate Dan Hack has reached the threshold and is elected. So one final applause for Dan. Round of applause for Dan. Moving on now to the community officer role. So the current community officer is Daisy Forster. She's done an awesome job this year. But her role has been, and the community officer role in general, is supporting the development of community on and off campus, as well as dealing with community-based issues in halls and private accommodation. You'll actively seek student voice through a range of formal and informal processes, We ensure that the union is working on issues that students care about. We'd also work closely with local MPs and council representatives to ensure local decisions are made with students in mind. So we had 2 candidates for this and reopen nominations. They were Tarvin Coley and Poppy Reed Pitt. So without further ado, we're going to hear the announcement.
Thank you very much, Joe. And we're going to move on. Your next community officer for 2023-2024 is Poppy Reed Pitt.
Thank you. Yeah. So, how did you find your campaign?
Good. A little bit stressful, a little bit long, but you know, good. Nice to have a t-shirt. That's what it's all for at the end of the day.
Yeah, I can agree because the stash that you get from being an officer is excellent. Yeah, I was just going to ask what inspired you to run?
I think the work I've been doing with community teachers anyway, with spiking, and with looking at setting the housing card, I just want to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, one time I found you in the middle of London trying to raise money for charity at the time as well, which is... So it is that your community work is outside of just this university.
Oh, what a throwback. That was a horrible job.
Sally, how did you find us?
I was doing work. I was at work in London.
A conference, right?
Yeah, it was one of the roles.
It was literally like Tottenham Court Road.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We
You didn't donate money though, did you? Would have made my job.
I don't get paid.
Awesome. Anywho, well, thank you, Poppy.
Thanks.
Really looking forward to seeing the way you do this year. So, another round of applause, everyone, for Poppy Reed Pitt. Yes, of course, the voter breakdown. So we had Coley got 365 votes, Poppy got 782 votes, Ron got 93 votes, 0 exhausted, 162 surplus, with a threshold of 620. Council first choices, the initial quota is 620. Candidate Poppy Reed Pitt has reached the threshold and is elected, so well done, Poppy. So now we're going to announce the winner for the Liberation Officer. So the current Liberation Officer is Aoife, and they do an awesome job, and it's been an absolute pleasure to work with them. The Liberation Officer oversees all our equity, diversity and inclusion work through both direct activities and supporting the PTOs who were announced earlier. You'll hold the university to account around diversity and inclusion within meetings, lead on the development of the history months and key dates in the Liberation calendar, and work with the leadership team on the implementation of the Students' Union EDI strategies. So we had 2 candidates for this class reopen nominations. They were Noah Holt and Ayomide Amoni. So, without further ado, we're going to hear the results of the Liberation Officer election.
And your next Liberation Officer is Noah Holt!
Well, congratulations, Noah. Really well done. Well, how are you feeling right now?
I can't really believe it, to be honest. Thank you so much, and I just want to say thank you to my campaign team and everyone that's been supporting me, especially everyone in the student union. Been incredible, obviously the hard work that goes into this, and also obviously I need another candidate. I just think that they had amazing ideas and definitely stuff that they're going to talk about and implement. And yeah, so it's bittersweet because I'm really happy, obviously, but also it's not nice for anyone to I want everyone to be involved, so yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I was just going to add as well, in terms of seeing candidates who run for election who have been involved in working with the SU before they become candidates as well, like, so you were a women's officer this year, and how that's been, and just asking about like what you've enjoyed about it really.
Oh, I have absolutely loved being a women's officer. Actually sounded that's in past tense, is it? I don't know, I've still got a bit of time, but yeah, really good luck to the next women's officer, and I think it's just the best job in the world. Really enjoyed it, and it's one of the main reasons why I wanted to stay working at the SU. There's so much more work to be done, but definitely the passion that there is on campus and the amount of voices that want to be heard is really exceptional. So definitely, women's officer, great job. People should apply.
What's the biggest thing you want to do over this next year? Top of your priority list?
Definitely, I want to work towards working with the support plan team and the extenuating circumstance team to ensure the marginalised students are supported. I think that there currently is a problem that those students are the ones that are left behind and their voices aren't heard, and I want to really ensure that the well-being of marginalised groups is addressed and supported.
Awesome, sounds brilliant now, thank you. Well, have a round of applause please for your new congratulations. Okay, so the last role I'm going to announce. Oh, guys, I nearly forgot the best bit of the night. The voting breakdown for the election officer. Round one, Noah Holt got 837 votes. Amide got 459 votes. Ron got 50, 0 exhausted, 164 surplus, and a threshold of 673. Count of first choices, the initial quota is 673. Candidate Noah Holt has reached the threshold and is elected. So, awesome stuff now. And then the final role I'm being announcing to you tonight is the education officer role, currently held by River, who I believe is also running for a different role tonight. The education officer represents the academic interests of all students. You work closely with key senior university staff to create change within students' academic experience, and with faculty representatives to understand the issues facing students to make the changes needed. The education officer sits on the highest academic boards of the university to make sure students' voices are heard by the university when decisions on their education are being made. This role is the most contested of the night so far. We've got 3 candidates plus 1. The candidates are Maddie Dinich, Tu An Do, and Goyen Fuong Lei. So, without further ado, your new education officer is.
Your next education officer is Tu An Do! Unfortunately, Tu An Do wasn't able to make it out, so please give them a massive round of applause so they can hear it from wherever they are.
Happy to give the flowers. Join the ballot first. Yeah, congratulations to them. I can get straight on the voter breakdown, yes. There are 2 rounds of this one as well, crikey. So in round 1, Maddie got 464 votes, Tu got 571 votes, and Goyen got 416 votes. 45 Ron, 0 exhausted, 0 surplus, threshold 748. Count of first choices, the initial quota is 748. No candidates or surplus votes to candidates will be eliminated and their votes transferred for the next round. Round 2, Maddie got 569, Tu got 709, exhausted 218, surplus 70, threshold 639. All losing candidates are eliminated. Count after substage 1 of 1 of eliminating Goyen, and Ron. Transferred votes with value 1. God, I sound like an Excel spreadsheet. Since no candidate has been elected, the quota is reduced to 639. Candidate Tu An Do has reached the threshold and is elected. So,
massive well done to UoNSU again. Really great stuff. That was actually quite a close election, guys. So that was cool.
Yeah, and the fact that there was two, rounds of voting as well. Raucous. Yeah. Congratulations, everyone. You got involved. Anya?
Yeah, should we have a sit down and break down how this has gone? So, obviously, FTO roles, you're paid to do the job, leaders of the organisation, sitting on the trustee board, big responsibilities for a large number of students. Yeah, every role was contested apart from, so far, Dan. But yeah, just reflecting on Dan's campaign, seeing the banners, seeing the videos, as he mentioned earlier as well. It looked very similar to my Activities Officer campaign from many a year ago as well. 1995.
You really get the sense that it's definitely a team effort, you know. He obviously mentioned both Bradley and Ed as well, and you just kind of get it's one person up here, you know, getting the election, getting through to the candidacy, but there seems like there's a whole group of people behind him and supporting him, which is absolutely great to see. So yeah, very well done to them. I guess every campaign team really, whether it's successful or not, you know, everyone has put a lot of effort in.
And also, I feel like it's quite exciting having multiple candidates run for one position, because it's just showing that there's quite a few people that are enthusiastic about making positive change within the university for all students. So yeah, it's just make sure to recognise and appreciate all the effort that everyone has gone to in their campaigns. Yeah,
it's great to see you get so many different manifesto points as well. You know,
oh yeah,
in these different elections where there's lots of different candidates, you rarely see a manifesto that looks the same between. You know,
oh yeah, completely. And it's really exciting to see how different people have treated the whole process. Different videos, and yeah, all the different things that the candidates have done to engage with the student body. Yeah.
Content break. So we'll have a 5-minute break now, and then Sunny will be taking over, announcing the remaining 4 FTOs.
And just before that, can we have another round of applause for all the candidates that have been voted in, and just everyone that's taken part.
everyone. Are we ready to restart? Hello everyone, my name is Sultan Chowdhury, but everyone calls me Sully. My pronouns are he, him, and I've been your Union Development Officer this year. So, to start this one off, we have Sports Officer. So this year, the Sports Officer has been Sean Nolan, and before that was AJ Gooden. I'm just going to be talking about the previous officer before them as well, because I was Liberation Officer last year, and so they were my team as well. So the Sports Officer is key to the development and student voice within University of Nottingham Sport. They'll provide the key connection between UoN Sport and the SU, making sure that student feedback and voice is part of all the work and decisions that UoN Sport make. There'll be a key contact for sports clubs and IMS Sport to promote and celebrate their work, as well as working closely with the counterpart at Nottingham Trent Students' Union to organise the annual varsity series, which is happening next week. So the candidate for Sports Officer was Sean Nolan, with reopened nominations as the alternative, and the winner.
Hello again. Your next Sports Officer. The first ever person to do 2 years as Sports Officer is Sean Nolan!
No one's ever given me flowers before. Thanks, Sonny. Yeah, thank you everyone for voting and all that. It's been good. Glad to be back. Do you want to say anything else?
If you want. I was going to ask you, what made you want to do 2 years? It's the first time?
Great question. I think I've been so well looked after by everyone who I've worked with, and made me feel like I have the ability to make change and work with those people to create a better experience for students in sport. So to give that up after a year when I feel like I'm just getting going would be really sad. So yeah, that's with that. Can't get rid of me yet.
Completely agree. As someone who has done 2 years, the things that you learn in the first year and then what you can then do in that second year. Working with you this year, I've seen some of the things that you've done above and beyond what a sports officer does. Some of the work that involves us as a representative to the British universities and colleges of sport, and how you've been working in that area and what that's going to be, what you're going to be doing.
What am I going to be doing? Everything. No. Very specific things. So yeah, like I mentioned with books, British University College Sport, a lot of work around there, sustainability and gender equality. And I think, like I said earlier, the support I've had, it's been people stood at the back of the room hiding, giving me the confidence to challenge and to, say things can be better. That have actually led to tangible change. So yeah, really excited for what can happen next year as well.
Yeah, I have to say it was great at the University Park Q&A session we had last week to sort of see talking about what you've done this year and also kind of that transition you want to make into your next year, obviously. And I think you've kind of alluded to it there, so it's kind of you're not going to have to go through that learning curve again. You can kind of just carry on from where you're going at the minute, which is really great to see.
Yeah, I did actually regret I said something at Sub Wellington where I told all of the other officers that were running that it takes them 8 months to learn what the bloody hell they're doing. And that's not entirely true, but the sentiment is that you really do find your feet as you keep going. And yeah, like I said, now I feel so much more grounded than I did, I don't know, 3 months ago when I would go to a meeting with Julia and just start crying because I didn't know what was going on. And she's laughing, but she knows it's true. So yeah, I feel like I'm kind of ready to really plough on now, yeah.
Perhaps you are going to be a change maker and we will have a lot of 2-year officers.
Yeah, why not, eh? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sean. Right, so the breakdown of the results. So 956 students voted for Sean Nolan, 79 voted reopen nominations, 0 exhausted, surplus of 438.5, with a threshold of 517.5. From the first round count first choices, the initial quota was 517.5. Sean Nolan had reached that threshold and was elected. Round of applause for Sean. And now for Union Development Officer. So the Union Development Officer, obviously, I was the Union Development Officer this year, and previous to me was George Sullivan. And the Union Development Officer provides a key contact between the Students' Union and the senior levels of the university. They'll be working closely with the Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellors, Deputy Vice Chancellors on all the key decisions within the university. They chair the Students' Union Trustee Board, which makes the key financial decisions and organisational decisions on the direction and spend of the Students' Union, and work closely with the social enterprises and the marketing of the SU to keep our outlets operating with our students at heart. So the candidates for Union Development Officer were Harry Chapman, Jess Nuttall, and reopen nominations.
And your next Union Development Officer is Jess Nuttall!
Like to give a speech, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who supported me, all of the campaign team. You've been absolute stars, there for me constantly when I just used to run or help me make camper or hand out leaflets, put up signs. You've been absolute stars, and I couldn't thank you enough, and I couldn't have done it without you. I'm so, so grateful for everything you've done, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities I've had throughout the year here as well that have led me to this role. So yeah, it's just been so nice to get involved with the SU, and I'm so glad that I've got so much more opportunity to do so now, so thank you.
Not because I need any validation, but what inspired you to run for the role?
You? No. No, a little bit of you, but also like the amount of amazing stuff I've been able to get involved in through Welcome, through Carnival, through being a brand ambassador. It's been great to see the SU from like the inside out, work out how it works and be like such a strong part of that, and then be able to work out like, okay, this can work, oh, this could help this, and be able to like bring those ideas to life in the role of VDO as well, and just be a great representative of students. I love supporting people, I love talking to people, I love organising people, so being there to support all the students in that role is going to be, I'm so excited to get started.
Yeah, I mean, having seen you working in Welcome over the last couple of years, James, if you want to...
Yeah, I mean, for people who don't know, we worked with the Welcome Committee for last year, so kind of we've had a shared experience in terms of that, and you can definitely see in terms of things in your manifesto in terms of student volunteering and kind of getting the students engaged. It's really clear to see that kind of your lived experience as a student has really developed you into kind of having this manifesto points, which is really great to see. So, yeah.
Thanks. Be nice to talk to you too.
Thanks very much, Jess. Well done.
Jess, well done.
Thank you.
So a breakdown of the voting. So Jess received 756 votes. Harry received 334. Reopen nominations received 28. 0 exhausted. Surplus of 197 with a threshold of 559. Counter first choices. The initial quota was 559, and Jess had reached the threshold and was elected. Round of applause for Jess. So next up, postgraduate officer. So this role was empty this academic year, but previously held by Brad Yules when I was liberation officer. And so the postgraduate officer is central to the development of the postgraduate experience at the University of Nottingham, from academic experience to student groups, from research to postgraduate sport. They'll be working closely with every officer to give every postgraduate a great experience at university. there were many candidates for this election, which was an amazing thing to see. The worry for a lot of students is that in the absence of a role, whether there'll be anybody who runs for that position, and to see this many candidates run is an amazing thing, and it is an amazing thing to see, and congratulations and thank you to everybody who has put themselves forward for this. So the candidates were River Butterworth, Benita and John, Ran, Aditya Subnis, Yukta Swami, and Min Zong. And the winner.
And your next postgraduate officer is River Butterworth!
Yeah, do you want to give a speech? Go ahead.
Thanks for voting me, everyone. When I saw how many people running, I was like, oh, this is scary. But yeah, I don't know, I thought I had a good manifesto, and I care a lot about trying to make change, and I hope to continue doing that. Yeah, thank you.
So, within the role, what are you hoping to achieve as a postgraduate officer?
So one thing I really want to do is end casualisation for postgraduate staff who teach, because they're on awful contracts and treated awfully by the university, and that needs to change. So that's something I'm really excited to start work on.
Do you have any highlights from your campaign at all?
Probably standing outside in the cold, giving out leaflet after leaflet, shaking, and then vaping because I was tired and cold.
Are you happy that you've won?
Yeah, I don't think it's hit me yet, so I'm just in a bit of a state of shock, I guess.
We can leave you to celebrate if you'd like.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Cool. Do you want?
Well done, Paul. Thank you. Right, so the breakdown of the voting. In the first round, there were 478 votes for River, 439 for Yukta, 77 for Bini, 90 for Ran, 16 for Aditya, and 66 for Min, 28 for Ron, 0 exhausted, surplus of 0, threshold of 612. Count of the first choices, initial quota was 612, no candidate had surplus, so surplus votes, so candidates will be eliminated and their votes transferred to the next round. In the second round of voting, all losing candidates are eliminated. So in the second round of voting, River received 531 and Yukta received 511. All losing candidates were eliminated. Count after substage 1 of eliminating Bini, Ran, Aditya, Min and Ron, transferred votes with value of 1. Since no candidates have been elected, the quota was reduced to 521 and River was elected with 531 votes. Well done, River.
And also well done to everyone that ran.
That was amazing to see. And we can come back to a breakdown of those votes as well, and try and understand how voting works, because we use single transferable vote here. But yeah, we'll move on to welfare and wellbeing officer role. So this year as well, the welfare and wellbeing officer was an absent position and previously held by Alice Cossey. And the welfare and wellbeing officer is involved in the welfare and wellbeing officer is key to making sure that students at the university are focusing on supporting students' welfare during their studies and time at university. That we're working with key university staff to make sure services and activities focus on students and lead on key welfare and wellbeing campaigns with the Wellbeing Volunteer Network, including exam stress, sexual health and guidance week. So some of these campaigns have been led by the other officer team, other members of the officer team this year, so we haven't been without, and that's been a really great thing to see, and I want to congratulate all of my officer team for being able to put that work in as well. But for this election, we have many a candidate. So we have Elle Leach, Hope Palfrey, Ben Bella, and Anushka Sharma, and Ron.
And the winner.
Your next Welfare and Wellbeing Officer is Ellie!
Thank you for everyone that voted. This is very unexpected. I feel like it's cliche to say that. But yeah, my like flight or fight is literally kicked in right now. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're hoping to do in the position?
Yeah, I'm hoping to be over-ambitious, and that way, even if we don't get it all done, we'll get like a good amount done. I won't go for everything because hopefully you guys have read the manifesto. So, student food bank, library of things, wellbeing community. Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially since that role wasn't filled this year, it's really exciting to see that you'll be in it next year. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to add as well, in terms of some of the new initiatives that you're bringing in your manifesto, I think it'd be good, and I can guarantee you that you will be supported in bringing those things forward. So be ambitious, make it happen, and what doesn't happen will happen. So yeah, apart from that, congratulations, well done, thank you very much. So a breakdown of the voting. So in the first round, Elle received 249, Ben received 318, Hope received 262, Anushka received 202, reopened nominations received 25, 0 exhausted, surplus of 0, and the threshold was 528. At the first count, the initial quota of 528, no candidates had surplus, so all who were below were eliminated. In the second round of voting, Elle received 304, Ben received 373, Hope received 301, 78 votes were exhausted, 0 surplus, and the threshold was reduced to 489. All losing candidates were removed. The count of the substage 1 of elimination, eliminating Anushka and Ron, transferred votes with value of 1. Since no candidate had been elected, the threshold was reduced. And in the third round of voting, Elle received 440, Ben received 436, 180 votes were exhausted, surplus of 2, and the threshold was 438. So all losing candidates were eliminated, count of substage 1, eliminating Hope, transferred votes with the value of 1, and the quota was reduced to 438. Elle was elected with a vote of 440. Congratulations, Elle. If you don't mind, we'll just go back to this. Elle, I hope this is okay that we go through this as well, just to understand how voting works and what we've been able to do. So when students vote, they vote in preference, and so you pick the candidates that you want, and after that, and you can also just choose real nominations. And so at every point, every student who had put forward votes and then had not put forward another vote, then those votes were then exhausted. That's what that means on the data. And so in the final round, the votes for all the candidates who were no longer holding a vote were exhausted, and so it came down to the last 2 candidates and the people who had voted for them.
Yeah, that was really close. Really close.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how many people had voted, how many candidates had come through, and it's going to be coming down to the tooth and nail on these sometimes, and yeah, a lot to take. And yeah, congratulations to every candidate who put themselves forward. There were a lot of votes for every single one of them. So it shows that there are students who believe in them, students who understood what they wanted to do, and I'm sure Elle will be taking a lot of that work on as well. So yeah, without taking away from them, congratulations, Elle. Yeah.
Congratulations, everyone.
So that brings a close to the most successful election that I have seen so far. It's so good to see so much happen, and the only person who would be able to tell us all about it is our Deputy Returning Officer.
I've written this down to make it a lot easier. I know it's been a very emotional night for all of us, so please indulge me for a second. And that's all she wrote. I first want to say a massive thank you to all the candidates this evening. This period is incredibly stressful, and to get through everything this process throws at them, they all should be awarded for their resilience and their bravery. Give it up to our candidates. And now for my incredibly cheesy, but hopefully not tearful thank yous. Firstly, a massive thank you to all the volunteers from the SU team out there. The go-ters, the wellbeing supporters, the candidate prep week presenters, and our results night runners. Thank you to Tech for bringing this whole evening and making sure the lights and sound are great for tonight. So beautiful thank you to both of those. Thank you. And of course, there's an incredible thank you to my team, the Student Voice team, for absolutely smashing it tonight and absolutely smashing it this week. Sam for being my ARO, and also known as my partner in crime of democracy. Tony for their record course rep vote to turn out this evening. Ginny for getting the candidates all prepped and supported at manifesto writing sessions, and an awesome preparation week. And Hannah for delivering a sector-leading candidate wellbeing program, who's up there now. So big thanks to them. There is one person I have not mentioned from my team, and I hopefully hope to see them making their way downstairs now. I haven't mentioned them because this is their last day. Karina Rees, our Student Voice Administrator. Karina may have only been here for 3 months, but has made an incredible impact on our work, their support during elections, and most importantly, being the queen of our pub quiz, Dinosaur Finger Puppets Unite. If you know that, you know. So thank you, Karina. We will all wish you the best of luck tagging fish in Swansea, and you'll be missing the team. Please come up on stage. Thank you. We've done a signed t-shirt of the election for you. Slate Queen indeed.
Can I say something?
Of course you can.
I just want to say that whilst it's been a very short time that I've worked at the SU, it has been an absolute pleasure to work with everyone here and meet all of you. You're all wonderful people, and I wish you all the best. So thank you very much for your kind words, Ashley, and thank you very much for having me.
The next person I need to thank is actually a whole team. Thank you, Maureen and the marketing team, for all their amazing work around promoting the elections and helping create some great promotional ideas to get people voting. I popped to their office every day during voting week to discuss numbers and to be like, oh, we smashed this, we smashed that, and it was amazing. So please give it up, and I would love to see Maureen up here now. Please go up to the marketing and our communications team. I know you do, that's why I did it. And the next are thank yous to some very important students. Firstly, I want to say thank you to Scarlett and UoNSU. They have done absolutely smashed the pre-voting content and candidate interviews, manifesto reviews, and covering our SB Q&A. I know it's been a slog with our record candidate turnout, but I really appreciate, the whole team appreciates your amazing hard work. Please come up on stage. And now to say thank you for a URN first, or a UoNSU first, Lottie and the Impact News team. They gave us our first ever student-led elections edition magazine. It has been an essential part of our voting work during voting week, and students have absolutely loved the ability to understand more about our elections and our candidates. Honestly, you can ask anyone who did some voting with us this week, and they say it's an absolute godsend. Thank you very much. Come on up. You may want to burn it. There you are. Very much. And now for the people who made this event possible. Joe and the NSTV team have put on an incredible show this evening, and with our guest hosts. The analysis, the awesome graphics, and all their coverage that they've done over elections has been amazing and has really helped push our voters turn out. So thank you to Joe and the NSTV team. And of course, a massive thank you again to our hosts this evening. They've been absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. And a final thank you to each of the 3,055 students that voted in this election. You are what makes democracy go. You are what makes democracy go round, and utilising your right to vote is the best thing you can do for your civic duty. So give it up to all our voters. If you know me well, I'm a nerd of two things: democracy and Disney. So I'm going to finish the night with an incredibly obscure Disney quote that I think sums up a fair amount of our philosophy here at Student Voice. We are reckless, brave and loyal and valiant to the end. If you come in here a stranger, you will exit as a friend. Thank you very much, good night!
I promise I'm not crashing the stage, but thank you, Ashley. Just want to say a big thank you to our host with the most and our Deputy Returning Officer, Ashley Storr-Smith, who's done a great job today.
Now go to UoNSU. See you later.